Remember, anything can happen in the clouds. Just enjoy the painting of them. No one is going to question your clouds. Really condense that white. In fact, back here, we will lose it almost altogether. Okay, so we're going to start putting our water level low. What that says is that we're on the same surface as our boats. And some triangles. If we bend them into the water, into the wind, like this, looks even better. Like it's more windy, perhaps. Somebody coming about here. Anyway. Sort of an arrangement. And we have this city back here. Some nondescript buildings, basically blocks. And then we have a large movement of clouds across this. As the city moves, as this river moves upstream, the buildings get a little smaller. A little bigger through here. And our area of light through here. Clouds, as I said, loosely described with pencil. Kind of big and coming down from the top, leveling out through the mid-ground. Okay, let's give it a shot. Okay, ready to go. So we start with yellow ochre in the sky. A little bit of a heaviness, honey color to it. Get all the way down here. Perhaps a little more of that through the lower section. Let's switch over to a little smaller brush. Where's my small brush? It's very small. Now, what I worry about is this top part drying up on me. So I've got to kind of continually feed that without going overboard. Just coming close to those boats, kind of defining our ocean, not ocean, river. This is the Charles River. Most of my boats are leaning forward. Most of them are gathered in this area. Okay, let's keep that wet and prepare the color for the sky. Sky is going to be ultramarine blue. I might need some more ultramarine blue or cobalt blue. Any blue will do. A little bit of Payne's gray. Payne's gray is a cooler gray. There we go, something like that. Let's keep it wet up here. And let's make a mark. For our sky. Nice. Keep it wet though, it's starting to dry out. Might add a bit of burnt sienna to this cloud. Looks so good when you put it down. Now we switch our brush a little bit. Go to a smaller brush. Red sienna and ultramarine or cobalt. Remember, anything can happen in the clouds. Just enjoy painting of them. No one is going to question your clouds. A little more blue as it gets to the horizon. Also, we get a little thinner and a little lighter. That. Love the way that feathers out. Been painting some dramatic skies in our class. We're coming down to where the city's going to appear, but that's okay. We're going to build this right into the city, which is starting to dry as well. And I want to paint the city into that wet edge. So I'm going to spray it yet again. Come up here, get a little more of that nice ultramarine blue with a little Payne's gray and a little burnt sienna, and start to create the buildings. Here's where we need to be a little careful. Oops. Let's add a little black to that. As we go. And if we had like some famous architecture, imagine Venice, we could use this sky in Venice. And we just continue to push this to the right, getting some nice soft edges into our buildings. So even though they're dark, they're not going to stand out as much. Okay, and to the right. Pretty good, pretty good. I want to put a little more color pigment. Don't want to wash away anything, so I've got to be careful about the thickness of this. Some blue. Even though it's kind of fading away here, still need it to dry relatively dark. Okay, we can put little windows. We're getting a little bit of light. It's not a bad way to add some interest to those shapes. But let's go ahead and put the water in front. That's going to be a nice warm gray also. And I think I'm going to start that with the same yellow ochre and just isolate the white area. Echo that yellow ochre that's up above in the sky. Here's where I want to get that shape of the white coming in from the right. Okay, so the next stage we're going to I want to get a little darker first in the buildings. The next stage we're going to add the dry brush in the foreground. We need that to be pretty dry though. So while I'm waiting, I'm going to go ahead and add a little dark here. Especially to these buildings that are closer to us. When you adjust the height, it makes a huge difference, doesn't it? getting a little too repetitive here. Well, they're buildings, I guess it's okay for them to be a little repetitive. I think that'll dry a little better. Let's see what it looks like when it dries. All right, we're going to add the foreground, and I've got a warm gray here using yellow ochre and some of that brown. It's pretty diluted, and I want to create some dry brush. Go a little with a smaller brush up here, more of that blue. Dry brush. Dry brush. Okay. Really condense that white. In fact, back here, we will lose it almost altogether. And the last thing we'll do will be to adjust some of the sails. But this is basically our painting. Just going to put a little more of that blue. To the back here. Yeah, better to stop too early. I mean, stop early rather than late. We'll look into our image, and as a final adjustment, we want to push some of these sails into the light. They're all the same white right now, and I'm going to use a little bit of a warm gray, similar to what's working there, a little lighter. Let me just paint one of the boats. Maybe a little darker. them out of the light a little. And we create a little depth this way. Clean up this edge. So I'm just taking a little blade. I could use white paint also. But this gives me some little more precision to get a flat edge there. And do I want to do anything else? I'll put pushing even further back into the light, into the shadows. And I think this one too. Anyway, it's something to add a little variety to the sails and make it feel a little more realistic. Makes the effect a little stronger. Some simple things.